And ladies and gentlemen, we're staying with the drone sector. Let's put the spotlight on another drone startup that recently raised $1 million in a pre-series A round that was led by Bluehill VC to fund its fast track at its 4 critical missions of drone production. In fact, we were talking about earlier, there is Zebu that's going to be joining us. The gentleman from Zebu is going to be joining us. The company plans to manufacture most components in-house. Let's go straight to the fund now, who's joining us on the broadcast. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Santosh Balajee Banisetty, for joining us here on ET Now. You've just raised $1 million in funding, coming in at a time that it does when the spotlight of the entire country, of the VC ecosystem, has been on the defense and drone startup ecosystem. In fact, Mr. Sanjeev Bikhchandani has also said that this ecosystem, this particular space, is going to see a lot of investor interest. I want to understand from you, when you received this funding, what were your conversations with VCs in terms of how do they see this opportunity going forward?
So, first of all, thank you so much for having me. So, this fundraise happened last year, but we were in stealth on what we're building, and then now we wanted to come out, and then we announced the funding. But yeah, to answer your
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we seem to have lost that line with Mr. Santosh Balajee Banisetty. He's, of course, the founder of Zebu Intelligent Systems, and the company has just announced its funding of $1 million. And yes, Santosh is now back. Santosh, go ahead.
Yeah, to answer that question, I think there is a lot of interest right now. But before also, people were looking at defense startups. IDEX program is having very good MOUs with a few VCs, and then through one of those MOUs itself is where we got to meet with Blue Hills, and then we went ahead and did the transaction. Yeah.
Right. Santosh, now, when we talk of the ecosystem, and I was just talking to the other guests who had joined us on the show just a short while back, the government has a PLI scheme. There have been several other measures also that have been taken. There is a drone policy as well in place. But what more do you expect and anticipate for the government to do for the ecosystem in terms of whether you need more funding? What kind of support does the ecosystem need at this point in time to become truly, to come of age truly, and to be amongst the top sectors that can get funding and the top performing sectors?
So I think that's a very good question. So we need a lot of patient capital that should come from the private equity players like VCs and whatnot. And then from government initiatives, I think it is going in the right direction. One baby step at a time. I think we'll get there eventually. But the most crucial thing here is we should be building cutting edge tech, and then that should attract a lot of VCs who are okay with keep parking the money for little longer than a traditional SaaS company or something, right? So that's a very crucial point here.
Right. So funding is essentially what you're saying. Patient capital is what you're suggesting that the government should probably, help in facilitating for the ecosystem as of now, given the fact that it still is in its infancy. Talking about the growth opportunity, what exactly is the growth opportunity that you see for startups in this ecosystem versus, perhaps in countries like Israel, for example?
The conflicts that are happening all over the world, I think we have a chance to leapfrog, avoiding some of those pitfalls. So I think the future is going to be more distributed, smarter and faster, smaller drones that can do precision missions, just like we have seen in the recent operations as well. So something in those lines, I think that is where the future is going to be.
Very much, Santosh. The opportunity, like you said, is immense. Many startups, as I was having a chat with the other gentlemen, many startups are looking at forging partnerships with other countries as well, with the global drone companies as well, to sort of, give a fillip to the export story, given the fact that India is looking and not just making in India, but also using our own defense production for exports as well. And talking about the opportunity, well, the Drone Federation of India says that India wants to become a global drone hub by 2030, and the market is projected to reach a whopping $11 billion by 2030, and that's going to account for 12.2% of the global drone market. But for the country to become, that significant in the global drone market, patient capital needs to come by, and that's the big takeaway from this conversation that we had with you. Thank you very much for taking the time out and speaking with us. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's completely time's up on Startup Central today. Hope you liked the show as much as we did putting it together for you. Thank you very much for staying with us. And don't forget to write to us at suc@etnow.tv to share your feedback on the show and what you'd like to watch on the show. Goodbye and thank you very much once again for staying with us.